Hello, Clash fans. Trample Damage coming at you today with Town Hall 10 I didn't I have the army train with a mass P.E.K.K.A and double quad quake using the brand new and incredibly wonderful Flame Flinger that is available only for Town Hall 14 and above. So if you don't have access to a Town Hall 14 that can donate these, find access, or Town Hall 14s, make sure you tell your Town Hall 10s that they need to start trying this attack. The general gist is we wind up using the Flame Flinger to cull a portion of the base and then use 8 Earthquake spells to blow it wide open so that 8 P.E.K.K.As along with your heroes can run amok. And then of course we have some archers and some goblins for cleanup troops. So we're just going to go ahead and kind of jump into this and talk through it for each of the attacks. I'm going to show you 2 raiding attacks that I made with this, and then also 2 war attacks. The 2 raiding attacks like this one, they don't have clan castle troops, but you'll see with how much is left over, it'll be pretty obvious that it's a very powerful attack. So the Flame Flinger actually has a nice long range. It'll hit up to 11 tiles away, which means only mortars and X-bows will be potentially problematic. Now at Town Hall 10, the piddly damage per second that a mortar can do will only be able to get off really 2 shots before the Flame Flinger will be able to take it down. And then, we're starting the rest of the attack. So you'll see here this Flame Flinger is just going to come through here and destroy a bunch of these defenses. It can get to everything except X-bows and mortars. So I did put a giant in there to take the first shot of that mortar, but then you can see here we go ahead and use Quad Quake to blow open that part of the base and to blow open this part of the base. Now the idea here is we get our P.E.K.K.As and heroes in toward the center, and then we swoop around the outside and clean up everything else. Now in order to create some funneling, I do have a wizard deployed up here. This will vary by base. This isn't like a standard thing, but use the few giants and the few wizards you have to help funnel your troops where you want them to go. We'll come back and check in on the Flame Flinger in a minute. Oh, actually, here, we'll see these little sprites that are dancing around in there. Those continue to deal damage to whatever's been hit. A couple troops in there to help funnel. And now we've got our heroes and all 8 P.E.K.K.As heading in. Sometimes I use the P.E.K.K.As to help create some of the funneling, which you'll see in one of the other attacks. But when you've got your Barbarian King and the Flame Flinger having created such a nice path already, a lot of times you can just dump all of your P.E.K.K.As in there. Now, I do bring a Rage spell and 3 freeze. The freeze are primarily for those single target Inferno towers. If you wind up against multi-target Inferno towers, you can either swap out the freeze for some skeleton spells to help on the back end, or you can swap them out for additional poison spells if you anticipate scary clan castles. Or of course you can just put a heal or drop 2 of them and put a rage. So you see in the core here we've got those P.E.K.K.As. They just have so many hit points, and between the king and queen they're just pounding away, and we've got 5 other P.E.K.K.As over here just absolutely wrecking this portion of the base. A couple of free spells of course being used on the single target tower to try and protect the P.E.K.K.As from going down, but the archer queen winds up getting in there to take out the single target tower anyway. And you see the Flame Flinger just now breaking open, and we've got 7 Hog Riders in there, and I definitely recommend bringing Hog Riders in because they will just start jumping over walls and go get whatever defenses are remaining, which we'll see in one of these other attacks is particularly helpful. So we'll just let this speed along. You can see, this P.E.K.K.A doing some damage up here, Hog Riders coming through and cleaning things up. It is just incredibly powerful. And then you can see around here, archers deployed to help clean up, and we already deployed some archers and a goblin up there to help clean up. But this attack is incredibly powerful if you just funnel appropriately, especially these big open compartments like we have on this base here. Look how many P.E.K.K.As are still in there. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6, 5 or 6. I can't tell if there's 5 or 6 P.E.K.K.As plus a swag freeze, and we didn't use the poison spell. Obviously, any clan castle troops that had come out of there would have been something we could totally have handled. So before we jump into the next one, of course, if you like the video, comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I just passed 6,800 subscribers on YouTube, so go me. Pretty soon I'll be at 6,900. Make sure to share this with your clanmates and all that fun stuff. Let me know other stuff you might be interested in taking a look at. So here we have ground X-bows all in the center, which means no real trouble for the Flame Flinger to get started. And what we're going to do is we're going to pause this right when that is about to hit. Now you'll see the Flame Flinger has tossed its catapult load, and as soon as it hits that cannon, it actually destroys that mortar. The mortars only need 2 damage or 2 shots if they are max for Town Hall 10. So sometimes a mortar can get off one shot, but if a mortar is located directly behind a higher hit point building, which mortars have some of the lowest hit points of any of the defensive structures, if it's located next to a cannon or an archer tower, you can actually take it down, and the Flame Flinger will be able to continue to deal just an absolute massive amount of damage. You see that 2 shots, all 3 of those defenses are down. So in this case here, because there are a bunch of little compartments are a pain in the butt for P.E.K.K.as. So in this case here, we're going to use the earthquakes to just open up most of those compartments. And now, because of what has happened with the earthquakes and the Flame Flinger, and actually this Flame Flinger is going to open up these walls here also, but all of these compartments are completely open except one. And that's going to be on the very back end, a wizard tower, a mortar, and an archer tower. But the rest of these compartments are all completely open where the P.E.K.K.as can get in. And that is what we are really trying to do with this attack, is capitalize on the heavy tanky portion that the P.E.K.K.as have, but they need room to move, and they don't like getting hung up on walls, because otherwise they potentially die to things like Inferno Towers or just constant fire from an Expo. So you see we bring a wizard in here to take care of this barracks. The Flame Flinger is actually moving in toward the base. We used the giant and some wizards over here, and then I just went ahead and put the king to clear that for sure. That way all of our troops are going to wind up heading toward the inside, although if this is the one I'm thinking of, the archer queen actually might head outside. So we'll speed this up a little bit, and now we're just putting in all the rest of the P.E.K.Kas, or all the P.E.K.Kas. Yeah, the Archer Queen, I think, takes a walk outside. But there's just, it's a wide open field day. Oh, she comes back in. Good job, Archer Queen. Freeze spells on the single target tower just to make sure that we don't lose those P.E.K.Kas. Of course, single target towers, very, very dangerous to P.E.K.Kas. But you see, they're just absolutely running amok through here with nothing to stop them as they move from one building to the next. We got 2 P.E.K.Kas with nearly full health still sitting down here. A couple of P.E.K.Kas roaming around the top here. There's 3 P.E.K.Kas in there. And the Flame Flinger has yet to disgorge the hogs. Here they come. They take out those last 2 defenses, and just look how much stuff is left over. Again, we started deploying archers around the outside here. You can see them working toward the cleanup already, along with some of the wizards, and there might be a goblin still running around in there. But Swag Archer Queen, the Hog Riders did almost nothing. Like, there's no way. That's 1, 2... That's 2 P.E.K.Kas, right? 2 P.E.K.Kas, 3, 4, 5, 6 P.E.K.Kas plus the Swag Archer Queen ability still sitting out there. This is so powerful. I actually shoveled this base over into my trample damage clan, so I'm going to jump back over to the good guys number 3, where we finished up a recent clan war, and we ended up getting a nearly perfect war, which was really cool. We're very excited about that. So we'll jump in here to 2 of the war attacks that we made using this mass P.E.K.Ka attack. Now, war bases are going to be a little bit trickier, right? So what you're looking for is an opportunity to get in away from Expos and mortars, which we found up here. We'll be able to get in and destroy all of these. When you're planning war attacks, I will say this, I'll show you at the very end here. I actually underestimated how much it was going to open walls, and it messed up my funneling and cost me what would have been an otherwise nice 3-star on a base. So that Flame Flinger is going to just start taking out all that stuff. Now, I did wind up coming in, I think I came in, yeah, top side here. So the same thing, we've got 4 earthquake spells. Now, these compartments here are all connected, but there are compartments over here that are not connected. So the second set of earthquake spells is going to open up all of this in here, everything. The only compartment that is not completely open is this one, and currently this one, but the Flame Flinger is going to be able to open that up for us as well. Now, I went ahead and put the Barbarian King in on the side here as my funnel. I do not mind using the Barbarian King to start my funnel. I want to just get a nice clear path for my P.E.K.Kas to run in, and you can see very clearly he is carving this part out, so the P.E.K.Kas, because they can't jump over walls or shoot over walls, will obviously start pushing back this direction. Now, up top, we just want to make sure that the P.E.K.Kas don't go wandering around, so I do need to clean up some of these trash buildings that the Flame Flinger is not going to touch. We don't want the P.E.K.Kas to come running around the outside, so 1 wizard up there and 1 P.E.K.Ka to start the funnel back toward the middle, and then all the rest of the P.E.K.Kas, along with a couple of giants, just heading in toward the core. These people put Electro Dragons in the clan castles, which are usually not great clan castle troops, but you can see here, we'll just speed things up a little bit. We've got freeze spells for the single target tower, and the Archer Queen manages to take down the Electro Dragon, and these P.E.K.Kas are just absolutely running amok through here. Now, This is where the Hog Riders come in really handy on what would be the back end of an attack. You can see the PEKKAs just wrecking stuff down in here, but then of course they do choose to exit the base because they are so close to the wall. Now this X-Bow up here manages to get a hold of that Flame Flinger and takes it down, but this is where those 7 Hog Riders come in incredibly handy, and of course we've got funneling troops, a couple of archers starting to work on those. Those 7 Hog Riders, they take out the X-Bow, they get in there and take out the bomb tower. Now, without a heal spell for the bomb or for the Hog Riders, oftentimes they can go down pretty quickly, but they get a couple of key defenses. The Archer Queen gets in there and finishes off that Inferno Tower, and then we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PEKKAs. One looks like it's about to die, so we have 4 PEKKAs still sitting in there, and this base just went down so hard. And because the Flame Flinger managed to get that wall piece, even if we didn't have the wizard out there shooting it, that gold storage would have gone down really fast. I'm telling you guys, I am absolutely... Nope, that's not it. Base 14 I thought I hit. Nope, 13. There we go, base 13. Okay, so this one here, I took a little bit of a more awkward approach because we don't have a nice, clean, easy funneling path, but I wanted to get this single target Inferno Tower because those are so dangerous to the PEKKAs. So we'll come back and take a look at how that's progressing a little bit later. And then what we're going to do is I tried to use my giants and some wizards over here to create at least a decent piece of the funnel, but the cannon and the archer towers proved a bit too much for them, so I ended up having to get my Barbarian King involved. You can see again the earthquakes opening up all of these compartments. There is nowhere the PEKKAs cannot get to, especially with this Flame Flinger wrecking that Inferno Tower, except for these last 4 defenses that are going to be down here in the very bottom. It's the only compartment that the PEKKAs do not have complete unfettered access to. So I went ahead and brought in a couple of PEKKAs. I thought I used my king. I brought in a couple of PEKKAs to funnel over here, which you don't actually need all 8 of them to go inside. That's just when it starts to feel like overkill. I did put a PEKKA out here along with some wizards to funnel, and the goal here is just to push everybody in toward that core. And the outside here, these PEKKAs do a pretty good job, but they get everybody at least into the core. Archer Queen goes down. She gets caught in the same exact poison spell as the Electro Dragon, and those 3 freeze spells are going to be very helpful for taking that single target tower. Now, the Hog Riders have come out, but you see this whole compartment of defenses has been completely obliterated by the Flame Flinger, and we now have 7 Hog Riders that are coming out to help. And PEKKAs are in there just absolutely wrecking things. I went ahead and used the freeze to get my Hog Riders in toward this area, and then now we've got some cleanup troops that are going to start coming in. You see over here the Archer and the Goblin, and now we've got the Barbarian King and a PEKKA just banging on those walls, which normally stinks, but they would be able to pound through there anyway, and in the meantime the Archer Queen is just destroying what's left of those defenses. I have to encourage you to try this attack. It's incredibly powerful, and I've been meeting with almost complete success. I was a little bit disappointed in one of the attacks that I made. It was the first one here. I anticipated, so I actually looked at this a lot. I thought, okay, Quake over here, take these walls out, Quake down here, the whole base is going to be wide open, but I can just funnel on this side. And I anticipated being able to get the Flame Flinger to take out these defenses here and blow open this wall so that my Barbarian King could come in and take out the enemy Barbarian King. But I will show you my sad tale of woe. So I put an archer in there just to make sure there were no hidden Teslas in here that would wind up getting my Flame Flinger, because that will absolutely wreck what you're doing. So I did do that to test for it. So here comes the first blast of the Flame Flinger. We wind up taking out this air defense. Now I anticipated, with this wizard having destroyed this building, that when this Flame Flinger destroys the cannon, it would blow this wall open, and I wanted to have my Barbarian King come and destroy the enemy Barbarian King. All this stuff would be down, and my PEKKAs would just run inside here. However, I did not anticipate the little flame sprites there popping open this wall piece. So unfortunately, what ended up happening, instead of my beautiful funnel being set exactly the way I wanted, and mind you, I anticipated the Flame Flinger just taking all this stuff out by itself, and then eventually something else triggering the clan castle as the rest of my PEKKAs came running in through here. But instead, here comes a giant to get the Barbarian King's attention. My king and a PEKKA go in, and unfortunately, you see that after my Barbarian King kills their king, he goes in range and pulls out the Electro Dragon. Now, I did not have my archer Archer Queen in a position to be able to support this because they were already so deep in the base, and the Queen would have just come running down here, and if I deployed her up top, she would just run this way to follow the P.E.K.K.as. And in this moment I thought, well, that stinks. I'm going to try and send my Queen in there and see if she can get to that Electro Dragon. But unfortunately, she just kept running down the side here, going after these buildings, and because the Flame Flinger opened up that wall, instead of her eventually having to run back toward this Electro Dragon, she just stayed on the outside. So it's not perfect. Obviously, I need to still learn, and this is a mistake I will definitely learn from, but you guys have to try this attack out. I cannot stress enough how cool this attack is and how much success I'm meeting with so far. Went through that pretty quickly, but I think we covered most of the gist of how to use the Flame Flinger effectively and to funnel your P.E.K.K.as in. In the meantime, reminder, subscribe to the channel, like the content, whatnot. Check me out on TikTok, share with your clanmates, and we will catch you on the next video. Trample Damage telling you guys all, please have a great holiday season, spend plenty of time with your families, and keep clashing.